Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, all of that juicy goodness. In this video, we are going to do a page pull from one of my favorite books called Heart Thoughts by Louise Hay. And I was just thinking about, before filming today, a lot of times when we're putting ourselves out there on social media, like me just hitting record right now, you start to really question why you're showing up and what is the message you're really trying to get out there and what's the purpose behind it, what's the intention behind it. And I had this moment of clarity, and it felt like it was from my angels and them saying, like, teach people how to love, teach people how to forgive, teach people compassion, soften people's hearts. When I lost my daughter in 2012, it sent me on this deep dive into complete darkness, and I saw all of the parts of myself that were icky and yucky and judgment and comparison and manipulation and lies. These are all things that I used to do. So my transformation from who I used to be before I had my daughter to who I am now is remarkable. And I love helping other women achieve that same success. To me, that's what success is growing and changing who we are and how we be and how we function and how we think, and taking the reins of our life and saying, I want to be different. And a lot of people see that as manipulation. They think that when you're changing, you're manipulating who you are and you're being fake. And it's not. It's actually evolution. And you're just letting go of all of those old ways of thinking and being. And to be honest, when you're on a spiritual journey like this, the ego deaths come and you cannot control it. You just wake up one day and you're more loving. You wake up one day and you can see why you did what you did. And this book, to me, is a great representation of all of that. It's like all the lessons I learned post-loss are in this book. And maybe I'll write my own book one day about all of that. But that's why I like to pull these pages, because I love seeing what comes out of me when I read a sentence. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember learning that lesson, right? It's all these different ways that life has brought us a lesson to learn, and then we learn it, and then we're like, oh, I want to share it. So that is my intention for this video, is to share something that I've learned in hopes that it will help you learn to love more and to find more compassion. Okay, we're going to go right here. I can heal myself on all levels. All right, here we go. It says, this is a time of compassion and a time of healing. Go within and connect with that part of yourself that knows how to heal. It is possible. Know that you are in the process of healing. This time you discover your healing abilities, abilities that are strong and powerful. You are incredibly capable. So be willing to go to a new level to find new abilities and capabilities that you were not aware of. Not to cure disease, but to truly heal yourself on all possible levels. You are spirit, and being spirit, you are free to save yourself and the world, and so it is. And then it says, healing means to make whole, to accept all parts of ourselves, not just the parts we like, but all of us. How spot on. I literally just talked about, you guys, going into the depths of who I was and the lies and the manipulation, and not, realizing that I was running on a pattern. So here's a screenshot. Anyone wants to take it? But realizing that we're doing those things on a pattern. It's not who we are. It's not who we're meant to be in this world. We're meant to do those things, to learn to not do those things, and then to come out the other side and say, I did it. God, I found my way back to source. I found my way back to me, back to my higher self, back to my truest nature of what's always been inside of me. But all of these situations and all of these people and all of these voices, they clouded me. They calloused us over as children. And then our adulthood is all a coming back home to truth, to compassion, to forgiveness, to love. And we have to, like the book said, we have to fully accept all parts of ourselves, not just the ones we like. So I had to learn to accept that I used to manipulate people. I used to lie. I used to tell my friends secrets. I used to be so quick to share news with people because I wanted to be the first one to know, right? And I always used to get mad at other women that were considered like toppers, right? Like you would share something cool that you did and then they would kind of top it. Well, guess what? I attracted those women because I was one of those women. And all those years not knowing about the law of attraction, I was always talking about how I was attracting those women. But if somebody would have already been spiritually awakened, they would have been like, Michelle, you're one of them, and that's why you're attracting them. So look around in your life and see what characters are showing you more of who you are, and embrace the lesson and then say, okay, I'm not going to do this behavior anymore. I'm going to tighten up my lip. I'm going to hold my mouth and maybe not say something I shouldn't say. And it's literally refining your soul. You're becoming better. You're not doing the same thing you used to do because a wounded part of you wanted to be loved. A wounded part of you wanted to feel safe. A wounded part of you was like, no freaking way. I need to say this thing, or I need to have this person do this for me, or I'm going to die. Right? That's how bad it was. A lot of us were acting on a pattern, and it felt like death if we didn't get that love, if we didn't get that validation, if we didn't feel accepted in a room full of people that we really admired. We felt like we needed to be the one talking all the time. And when we learn about patterns, we learn the less we do, the more we receive. The less we talk, the more we listen, right? So it's the less, less, less. It's realizing that we're chipping away all the things that are not us off of our beautiful masterpiece. And then our beautiful shape is coming out, and we're like, oh, this is our true nature. And I get to love all of those pieces that I chipped away that are on the floor. They're not on me anymore, but they're on my floor, and I can still see them and I can still learn from them. So all the versions of you that you've chipped away, love them, send them love, thank them for the lesson, because now you're walking through life and you're like, oh, this looks familiar. I'm not going to repeat this pattern. I'm not going to say this thing. I'm going to keep my friends' secrets. I'm going to keep my children's secrets. I'm going to be somebody who can be reliable. And when they say they're going to go somewhere, they go. Or, you just want to be somebody that's reliable. You want to be reliable for yourself. You want to set boundaries for yourself. You want to have discipline with yourself. And it all starts with you. So this message today is literally letting you know that you can love all parts of you, and you can set yourself free by loving all parts of everybody else too. Because the more we love ourselves, the more love we have to give, the more space we have in our body. This is a big thing I learned. Final message here. When we are not healing, this book talked about healing, right? When we heal, we are dumping out the water bottle. I always say, like, our body is filled with water to the brim. When we're wounded, when we're in anger and frustration and judgment and comparison, we're filled to the brim and we just are overflowing with all of that judgment. But when we heal, we're emptying out the water bottle and we're not filled to the brim with anything. So when somebody spews something towards us, we're not overflowing. We're not activated. We're not triggered, because we're like, oh, that just goes right through my bottle. You can say whatever, and I know that's probably what you're going through and that's your experience, but it's not going to affect me. And I'm going to pray for you in this moment, because I know that I used to be there too. And you're going to get to this spot too. That's what healing is we're healing ourselves, and then we give other people permission to do the same, because we give them a different response. Right? That person might have said the same sentence to you, to somebody else, to their mom, to their sister, to their brother, whoever, but you responded with love and with patience and presence. And you're like, hey, you can be all of you. It's okay. I'll be here. I'll listen. I'm not going to battle you. I'm not going to, problem solve for you. I'm just going to listen. And when they encounter somebody who's healed and can do that, they're like, whoa, I didn't know this was possible. Can I join in on this? And that's why I have in my one deck of cards, my Micah Magic deck, heal yourself and you help others heal. Because when you do the work on you, when you empty out your water bottle, you have so much space. You have so much energy to put out. You're not filled to the brim, feeling activated all the time. You know your boundaries. And if you start to get activated, guess what you do? You take time in nature, you go reach out to a guide or a healer to diffuse yourself, to let that water out, right? So healing is so incredibly magical. And I want to encourage you all to get on that journey and to start to relieve yourself of that water. Set yourself free. You can't do this alone. We have to work with people that have done it before to show us the way. So everything is in the comments. I run a mentorship with women. I do a group coaching program. Everything is open. You can do a one-on-one call with me. I want to help you fall more in love with yourself. I want to help you heal so that you can give permission for other people to heal. And imagine if we lived in a world where everybody was working on emptying out that bottle. They were not as activated. They were not as triggered. They were able to have space to accept everybody for where they are and what they're doing and how they're responding. Okay, so if you want to work with me, everything is below. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for supporting me, my daughter, and our channel, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace out.